Hi my lovelies, welcome back to my channel, and for everybody who is new, I'm Leorah and I'm so glad you found me. So welcome to today's video, which is gonna be my review and kind of really showing you what this palette is all about. So this is the Celestial Magician's palette from Artist Moon Beauty, and I have featured this brand a couple of times already in previous videos because this is the second palette that I have from that brand. And let me just show you because this one is cute. This is kind of pastel-y neons, and of course here a whole row of glitters, and then within the upper two rows you do have two shimmers, which is this one and this one. Okay, sweeties, I got this in PR from Artist Moon Beauty, which is just so amazing because the first palette, the Space Cadet palette, I bought on launch basically, and then she actually, the owner Hadassah, she reached out to me and she said before this launched, she asked me, do you want to have this, because this is in celebration of my 26th birthday. Congratulations, sweetie. So this is the palette, and I said yes please. Of course, like really, you know. So yeah, so I've been working with this palette and I have done already 2 looks with the palette, which you are going to see towards the end of the video right before the review part. So now I'm going to do, of course, the third look with the palette, showing you how it works. And I have to say I was I was a little bit scared when I saw the pasteliness of those shadows, because sweeties, if you know me just a tiny little bit, neons and pastels and or the combination of both is a struggle for me. But when you see the other looks that I've done with the palette, I think you're gonna see that this actually worked quite well. So let us dig right in. Besides that, of course, if you just found me, I'm Leorah. I'm a makeup artist and stylist, and if you are up for color, which is not what you're seeing here right now, I totally realize this because this is kind of pajama time when I'm filming my makeup looks. But if you're up for color, then at least stay till the end of the video when I'm coming back with my finished look and my finished styling. Of course, you will also be able to check out all my social media with all my colorful looks. All my social media is linked in the description box down below. And if you like it here, then please subscribe to my channel because that would be awesome. Okay, sweeties, let us move you closer and then we're going to see what we can do. I'm actually going to use some of the shades that I haven't used yet today. Alright, sweeties, I have primed one eye. That is this one, and this is the eye where I'm doing my look today. Let me just clean up my phone because I don't need that now, and find the brush. Which one should I use? Okay, so I think what I'm going to do today is I have to use this shade still, and I have to use this shade still. All the other ones I basically have used, and then I have these 2 pressed glitters that I still basically have to use. I have used them on the lid. I've also done liners. I think in both previous looks I've done also liners, winged liners with these pressed glitters. And anyway, my whole opinion you will of course then hear once I do my review. Okay, so let us go into the shade Pharaoh, which is kind of like a what is this, like a corally leaning shade. Okay, so I think what I want to do is basically, because I just basically want to work with those 2 shadows, maybe just have one shade here and then the other shade here, and then imitate the same thing on the under eye area, because I haven't really done that a lot. Usually I do, when I do looks like this, the under eye area is usually kind of different from what I'm creating on like above my eye. So, but I do believe that, like, look at this, you know, considering it is neons and it is kind of pastels also, that it usually really doesn't work for me so well. I can just show you like this, that these pick up super nicely and are like, you know, that was quite impressive, I have to say, because I did not expect that. Usually with a lot of other brands that I have tried, they dust off. They kind of dust off, you know, and that is what it is. Now, what I though have to suggest when you're working with this palette is, and this doesn't apply to today's look because I'm just basically placing 2 shadows next to each other, but when you are going in, for example, with this shade or with this shade first, that you do exactly that. You go in with the darkest shade first and then blend them out instead of using a transition shade and then building them on top of each other, because that is it is possible, it's just not as powerful in the result. Okay, so now let us find another brush and put the other shade on, which was the shade Crystal Seal. This is the one. Okay, so this is the one I just used, Pharaoh, and this is the shade Crystal Seal. Why am I pointing this into my mouth? And this is the shade Crystal Seal. Okay, so let us put that one on. And then I might on my lid use one of the shimmers, and then though, just in order to show you, and then I think I will put a pressed glitter on top of it. So we shall see. Okay, sweeties, now I'm just going to take my bone color mat and blend out the upper edge here a little bit. Okay, and now I'm going to take a little bit of a more fluffy brush and put that same shade, the Crystal Seal, on again, and just sort of fluff it out here a little bit in order to get a bit of a better blend. Okay, sweeties, next I want to show you this one. This is Dragon Night. This is a blue shimmer shade, and I'm going to pick this up and put that on my lid. And I think even though I have used the shade already that I'm going to show you in a second, I'm going to still include it in this look, and that is the shade Dark Magician, which is the darker purple, and just put it here in the outer corner a tiny little bit, just to create a little bit more depth. So of course over this shade here I'm going to put also a glitter in a second, and I think I'm going to use, what should I use? These two I still have to use. These two. I kind of think this one because that just makes sense, but I'm very, very drawn to this one also. I don't know. What should I do? Wouldn't it be cool if this would be alive and you could just tell me what you think I should do? That would be helpful. So anyway, this is what the shimmer looks like. The shimmers, I'm also of course going to talk about the shimmer formula in the review part at the end of the video. So here I'm just also applying it with my finger, so you can see that it actually picks up then of course in a completely different degree also, which is a normal thing to happen. Okay, now I'm going to take another brush and I'm going to go into that darker purple shade. It's not a dark purple. They're not really, you know, dark shades in the palette because it's a very, very light pastel-y neon palette, but the darker one of the two, and I'm going to place that right here. I don't know if it actually does that much here in that placement, but anyway, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. So yeah, I'm just going to try to build it up a little bit, but that is of course a thing with shadows like that, with neons and pastels. That is a thing, at least when it comes to me. I don't know what it is. They don't like me too much. They don't like me too much, but considering that, I think overall this palette has worked really, really well for me. Also, when I think about, for example, that neon yellow here, that was one of the first shades that I used, and I was like, really? Is that real? Is that real? Okay, let us go in. What should I use now? I want to use, I have no idea how to pronounce this, Aurichalcos. I think I want to use that one, and then maybe use the blue as a liner. Should I? Yeah, why not? Why not? Who says I can't, right? So let's just do that. So I'm picking it up on a brush, and I'm just going to put it over here, and maybe not cover the whole shade, but just like a little bit, you know? Maybe that's what I could do. What is that Aurichalcos? That must be some kind of character in like anime or something. You guys have to let me know. I have no idea. So anyway, I think that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to sort of just place it here and try to blend it out, which of course with glitters, sweeties, you don't really blend glitters. Unless you know how to do it, and then you please let me know. And then I think I'm just going to dab on more of that blue shimmer, and I don't know, make a transition. I've never done anything like this, so let's just try. Let's just try together to make a bit of a more of a transition here towards the purple, but also kind of build up the blue shimmer again mixing it into the glitter. Well, we're doing a lot here at the same time. Something like that. I think this is actually kind of cool. Yeah. Okay, what I want to do though is I want to bring that blue shimmer a little bit further up. I think that the way my eyes are built kind of calls for that, which I can't do with my finger because, you know, can't get in that corner too well. Something like that. And then maybe also build up the shimmer, no, the glitter a tiny little bit more. This is cool. I think the liner I'm going to do off camera because it takes a huge amount of time for me to do that. And yeah, this is how it looks. I think this is kind of really cool. It is not my usual looks. Definitely not, because I'm also not using this kind of a color scheme a lot. But anyway, so this is what it looks like, and I think together with the liner, this is actually gonna look really, really nice. So let's just blend also these two shades a little bit better together. And then I'm gonna do, of course, the other eye off camera. I'm gonna do the liner, as I said, and then I'm gonna meet you right here in just a second. Okay, sweeties, here we are with the finished look and the finished styling, and of course the swatches. The swatches, you've also seen the other two looks that I've created already with that palette. Okay, sweeties, let us zoom you in. Let's start with that one and show you how the look turned out. I'm also going to, in a second, tell you what I did for a liner. Yeah, so this is how it looks. Is this the most favorite look that I have done in my career? No. Definitely not, but it cannot be, because it's kind of neon and pastels, right? Everybody here on my channel knows that my preference is dark shades, dark looks, like super, super dramatic dark looks. Not like black and gray necessarily, but like, you know, very, very vibrant looks in a different way. This is also vibrant, but pastels and neons. Okay, definitely not my preference. This is not my most favorite look, but sweeties, to be absolutely fair, this performance is probably, when it comes to me, and I'm not an expert on neons and pastels, as you know, I've never made a mystery about this. This is probably the palette that I want to say performed second best on me. I think the best performing palette when it comes to pastels on me, and this is not neons, that's just pastels, was the Fade into Hue palette from Colourpop, I have to say. But also there, I have to say, to be completely fair, there are dark mattes in there, in that palette, in each color scheme. So that is that. Now let me quickly tell you what I did for a liner. I, of course, told you that I'm going to use that blue glitter, the shade KS, this one, for a liner, but usually I put something underneath in order to just give it more opacity. Okay, so I actually went back to the Space Cadet palette, which was the one that I, of course, already spoke about in the beginning of the video. This is the one that I ordered basically when it dropped, also from Artist Moon Beauty, and I actually took these two mattes here and mixed them, put them underneath, and then put the glitter on top. Just wanted to quickly like give you the whole picture. Okay, so now let's talk about the palette. So we do have a sleeve which looks exactly like the palette. You do also in the back have exactly the same content, the ingredients and everything is on there. Okay, now you do have this beautiful color scheme. It's of course very spring-like, very happy, kind of also girly a little bit, you know? I think so. Haven't been a girl for a long time, like a young one. Still a girl in a way. But anyway, yeah, so you do have also a nice size mirror. You do have the shade names that honestly don't mean so much to me because I just have like no idea about the whole anime world. Please don't blame me for this, I just don't. But anyway, this is the theme of well, you can also see here, of course, and sorry for making all the noise, on the Space Cadet palette. So this is the theme that she's going for, and it kind of fits, you know, it fits. It's very, very cohesive, and I think it's really, really cool. It's really cool. I don't understand anything about it, but I have no knowledge, but I think it's really, really cool the way she executed the whole thing. Okay, now color scheme wise, okay, so you do have, as I already told you in the beginning, you have 15 shades, then you do have a whole lot of mattes, with the exception of these two shimmers, and then you have a whole row of pressed glitters, which I really, really like. Now, performance wise, as I already told you, I think it is, first of all, really, really hard to formulate these kinds of shades that are neons slash pastels. It's also not the easiest to work with, but considering that, I think the performance was really, really good. What would I change about the mattes? I would add darker mattes, definitely, because that is my personal preference, as you know. Okay, then of course you have the pressed glitters, which you also saw here, and all of this is on a bare arm. I have nothing on my arm. Okay, so you can see here also the pressed glitters that are really, really nice, super nice and opaque, super foiled. The binder is really, really nice. This is without a glitter glue, without nothing. Okay, you also saw here, of course, that I did not use a glitter glue or anything. I just put it, the pressed glitter on top of that shimmer. Okay, I think in general it is probably a better idea to use pastels or super, super light neons on a white base. I have not tried that, but I've been told by my friends here in the comment section basically that that is how it's done. I don't have a white base. I really don't work with that. So basically I'm doing what I'm doing and I'm using what I'm having. What I have. I use what I have. And I guess most people are in that situation that they use the base that they have, that they always use for their eye looks. So I kind of feel like this is a very, very good example then of what you're getting, right? So when I think about the first two looks that I've done, I actually like them more because I think I was a little bit like placement wise of the shadows, I was a little bit more standard, which I think works better with this palette. Today, I don't know if I'm really, really feeling the look. I really like the liner. I really like the lashes. I think this look could have been maybe better if I would have used different colors in the palette to like combine them differently. But that's just like a feeling I have, but I could be completely wrong. But I definitely wanted to use all the shadows in the palette, which I did. With today's look, I've used them all. Yeah, so I have to say that the buildability and the blendability was actually really, really surprising because I've worked with neons before. I've never been like a huge fan of neons, but I always had a problem blending them because either they are like they go on and you cannot blend them at all, or if you blend them, they just sort of feather away or like peel off even. This is my experience with neons. I did not have this here, you know? So this was actually a good experience. Also, when I was swatching them, they are super, super velvety and really, really nice to swatch. Yeah, I think if I would have swatched them on a arm that has some kind of primer on it, it would have been even better, you know? But I think considering that I have nothing on my arm, this is actually a really, really good result, I have to say. I'm so, so glad that I got to try this, that she sent this to me, because it's just super, super nice, first of all, to have the vote of confidence of a person, the brand owner, to say, do you want to try this? You know, do you want to create some looks? And I think this is just incredible, and I feel very, very honored to have this kind of recognition and I don't know, this vote of confidence, you know? So that is that. She also, before I forget, she also sent me one plumping lip gloss, not plumping lip gloss. I'm not 100% sure what shade this is, but I've tried it. It is definitely plumping. Definitely. So that is that. And then she also sent me this one, which is a lip gloss in the shade Purple Aurora. I have worn both of them in different looks, which will come up on my social media. So you will definitely see them when the looks that you've just seen, the first two looks. I think in the very first one I wore this one, and in the second one I wore this one. So you will definitely see them come up on my social media if you follow me there. Okay, so these worked really, really well. They're nice and glossy. They don't bleed, and they are super buildable, especially this one, because this one is a little bit more sheer and has a little bit more like sparkles in it. But this one is the plumping lip gloss. Plumping lip glosses, I feel, always have a bit of a medical taste to them. I actually in all my plumping lip glosses, I have that feeling that they're a little bit like medicine, a little bit. But this one here is actually really, really nice. It has a taste or a smell of like I don't know, plum preserves or something like this. It's really, really pleasant, really nice, and again, it feels super, super nice on the lips. Okay, so that is basically it. Did I have any staining? No. Did I have any creasing or anything? Absolutely not. Did I enjoy this? Absolutely. I don't think there is any dot in the palette. The performance of this palette was really, really good, and I think if I would have to rank both of those, what would I do? I think color scheme wise, this is easier for me to use because I just have more depth in the palette, you know. But if I think about it, let's just hold them next to each other, because I think if you use them together, that could honestly, be also super, super nice, you know, because they really, really complement each other if you think about it. Yeah, so that is that. Sorry for the noise outside on the street. There is the garbage truck picking up garbage. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, and that is basically what I have to say about this. I hope you will go and check out Artist Moon Beauty. It is so, so nice that a young woman is creating a brand, is creating such nice things and such nice color stories, and just having her own vibe and having found herself in this already. And I absolutely support this, and I really, really love that. So sweeties, this is what it is for today. Please feel free to check out everything that I have on my face, which is going to be listed in the description box down below, together of course with all my links to social media and with all the discount codes that I have with different brands. And besides that, of course, leave me your comments in the comment section about if you have tried this brand, or if there are other brands that I definitely would enjoy according to your own experience. Besides that, of course, if you're new here and you have not done so, then please subscribe to my channel, because that would be just absolutely great. And come back for my next video, which is going to be super soon. And up until then, definitely go ahead and sparkle. Hugs and kisses. Bye.